Welcome to the MamasteFit YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to be walking through an early postpartum yoga flow to help bring some movement so that you can be more comfortable in the days and weeks after giving birth. This is a very gentle flow, so it is great to do in the early weeks postpartum, but you can also be several months postpartum and still find tons of benefit. Before we dive into the postpartum flow, I want to share that my book, Training for Two, is now available for pre-order. While this book is focused on using prenatal fitness to help support you throughout your pregnancy so that you can have a strong and pain-free pregnancy while preparing for birth, we also have an entire chapter dedicated to the early postpartum to help introduce movement, to help you reconnect to your core and your pelvic floor, and then also some gentle core exercises that you can do to help begin the rehabilitation process. You can check out Training for Two in the notes below, and the book comes out September 2024.
Hi, welcome to MamasteFit On Demand Yoga. I'm Casey Backus, physical therapist and yoga instructor. I've got Roxanne here with me, and today we'll be doing just a short, gentle postpartum flow. Just a little bit of movement to kind of ease into your body, maybe feeling a little cranky, might just be feeling a little disconnected. So our goal today is just to breathe, to kind of drop back into the body, to feel a little bit more connected, a little bit more like a whole person. Your body's been really busy over the last little bit since baby's arrival, and third trimester can be kind of full of angst and kind of wondering how everything's going to settle out. And so today's practice will be all about letting the sand settle. And so sit up nice and tall. Wherever you are is fine. Whatever you're wearing is fine. You don't have to have a bra on. You don't need your yoga clothes, your mat, anything. Just sit. Let the eyes close or lower. Most likely it's not perfectly quiet or peaceful in your environment. That's fine too. So kind of as just a first bit of awareness, drop into the environment. What kind of sounds are you hearing? And then just like if you were imagining kind of descending underwater, drop a little deeper. So yeah, we acknowledge those sounds are there. It may not be the perfectly peaceful environment. And as you drop in a little deeper, exhale the breath, get really empty. Kind of so empty you feel your belly pull in just a little bit, nothing aggressive. And then through the nose, inhale, sit up a little taller. Good, big pause at the top. Hold on to that air. Just a few more moments. Keep holding on. We're going to start to exhale. Nice long exhale through the nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big pause at the bottom. We've got 2 more rounds just like this. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Big pause at the top for 7. Pause 8, 5, 4, 3, 2. Big pause. And then exhale 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big inhale for 4. At the pause is 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Just a little pause, noticing. Now start to kind of move the body in your seat. Move the neck a little bit. Open and close the jaw. Good. Maybe some little shoulder rolls. Then we'll come forward to hands and knees. So hands roughly under the shoulders. The center of the wrist will drop down just from the kind of outer edge of the shoulder. And get that pointer finger pointed forward. As you peek back, knees underneath the hips, feet roughly hidden behind the knees. And then just some movement. Doesn't have to be anything perfect. Kind of imagine that you're shifting your center of gravity over one hand and then the other hand, one hip and then the other hip. And then drop your head Relax the jaw some. Let the tongue go to the roof of the mouth. Big breath in through the nose. And then this is just intuitive movement. This is plugging into your body's wisdom. Like, what feels cranky? What do you need? You might make some big barrel rolls with the rib cage. It's kind of intuitive for Roxanne here. You might sit way back or side to side, almost like a child's pose. Maybe the knees want to go a little wider. Pop and crack along the way. Good. Then settle the knees wide. Take the big toes to touch, and the heels, hips will press back to the heels, coming to child's pose. If your head doesn't come down easily, perfectly fine to grab a pillow or a blanket to kind of soften this. We can be really sticky through the low back. And so child's pose maybe was an easy body position prior to pregnancy, but it might take a little bit of acclimation to get back to that. And no worries. We find ourselves kind of comparing to what we did previously. Just come right back to now. Imagining like a snow globe or sand in the ocean water. Let the sand settle, let the water start to get a little more clear. One more breath to be here. Trust that this is enough. Trust that reconnecting to your body first is creating a foundation for maybe some more intense exercise or intense yoga or just intense life to layer upon. So rebuilding that foundation. We're going to come up through downward facing dog by coming up through all fours. Walk the hands forward about a handprint or so, maybe a handprint and a half. Curl the toes under, take the hips high. It's like an upside down V. And then again, let the head be soft. Tongue goes to the roof of the mouth. You might notice some big pulling down the backs of the legs or the ankles. Never a requirement or important to us that the heels come down. And we're not looking for perfect alignment here. Kind of root down through the pads of the fingers. Good. One more breath just to be. And then we'll bring the knees to the mat, and then the forearms will come down. From here, we're thinking all about the rib cage. And so taking a breath in, the belly could drop some. We're not looking for it to drop a super ton. Good. And then as you exhale, round the spine high, kind of like a Halloween cat or an angry cat. Let the head drop. We're looking for that stretch along the back of the spine. Good. Inhale just back to neutral or maybe a little dip in the belly. And then big exhale, maybe even an audible exhale. Feel the low ribs pull back. Good. Notice what you're feeling here. Big inhale. Big exhale, almost like you're blowing up a balloon. You'll feel those front ribs come back. If they cramp, no big deal. Drop down, take a break, and come back. Good. One more big inhale. Exhale. Round the spine high, blow all the air out, and then stay. Try to blow just a little bit more air out for 3. Push the floor away, 2, 1. Nice. Good. Come on back to table. We'll find one more downward facing dog here. And then this time you can make it a little bit looser, start to pedal it out. Breaking a little bit of space. And then come on back down to table. You're going to bring that, both knees down. I've got a block here. We're going to slide that block under Roxanne's left knee. If you don't have that, you could try a book. You don't necessarily need like perfect yoga props. Important thing is like if our knees were running a race, they'd be on the same line. So scoot this one forward just a little bit, or scoot them back. Good. And so what this is doing is creating a little bit of rotation in the pelvis. Ask Roxanne to drop her left elbow down now. Good. And just pause. Good. Creating some space. Take a big breath in. Exhale, try to make a little bit more space in this left low back. And so this is the typical side that will feel this more intense. Perfectly fine to do this on both sides. And in fact, we'll do one on the other side just for kind of comparison purposes or just for noticing some asymmetries in the body. Let any extra tension in the neck go. How did I know that? Good. One more breath to be. And then come back up just onto hands and knees. Keep the knee on the block. And so with this little bit of asymmetry we've created, we're going to take some cat-cows. And so inhale, belly dips a little bit, really focusing on that Halloween cat. Exhale, tailbone goes down, head comes down, creating some space along the back. Good. 2 more. One more round here. Nice big exhale. Good. Feel the rib on the left side kind of connect toward the front of the pelvis. Nice. Good. And then just drop down at the left elbow. Notice if you've made a little bit more space here. Coming on out. You slide the block out, and before you put it under the right knee, just a round or 2 of cat-cow or just some intuitive movement. Doesn't have to be the same thing, but remember, we're just checking in. Like, what is going on with the body? How can we kind of inhabit the body again? Kind of take not as much control, but more connection. Good. Hands walk forward. Try downward facing dog again. Notice if there's a little more ease than maybe there was in the first one. Okay. And then coming down. Oops, sorry. Here, block under the right knee. And then the same thing. Right elbow will come down. Most people will notice there's more access here. And just part of that is with the asymmetries in our body, asymmetry in our internal organs. So we're really not looking to reinforce this pattern, but just as a little bit of comparison. We'll take a few breaths here. There really is no wrong. Tongue to the roof of the mouth, kind of some ease in the jaw, right in front of the ear. See if you can soften there, soften the forehead. Find a breath that's maybe not so shallow. Find a breath that comes all the way down to the back, all the way down to the tailbone, and then come on out. Just a round of cat-cow here. And so the body changed gradually throughout pregnancy, but postpartum is a little bit abrupt. And so finding our way back to some more optimal postures or optimal kind of alignment is something that takes a connection with the brain. Good, come on out. Let's take downward facing dog. And take the feet wide, about as wide as a mat. If you're using it, maybe a little wider, that's perfect. And then walk the hands back about halfway. Let the head be soft. And then you walk back the rest of the way. You could pop up onto your fingertips here, or you might just take an elbow in each hand and kind of dangle. So we call this like a rag doll. Feel some softening in your jaw. Feel the weight of the head. That's just a little bit of traction. And so you can stay there. If you feel dizzy at all, put the hands down, come back to table. But otherwise, we'll release the hands. We're going to come all the way up to standing, kind of roll up slowly. Good. Step the feet back together. Good. And you bring the left hand to the heart, right hand to the belly. A connection with where your body is right now. Feeling the feet on the floor, and then growing tall up through the legs, through the spine without lifting the heart. Lengthen through the back of the neck and the crown of the head. reconnecting with the body so that we can heal together. Kind of body, mind, spirit, soul. You can take a long breath in. Slow breath out. And then one final breath here. Long breath in. Slow breath out. By blinking the eyes open, kind of moving around gently. If you kind of have the inclination to sit down or take a little rest now, if you have time, we'd encourage you to do so. But in general, just noticing how different just a few minutes of mindful movement and breath, nothing crazy, just kind of directing that attention inward that probably has been spread pretty thin. So namaste. From our hearts to yours, thanks for allowing us to join you on your healing journey. Thanks.
We hope that you enjoyed this yoga flow and that it helped to bring some more movement to the early days and weeks postpartum. If you want more yoga flows like this, be sure to check out our postpartum yoga program, where Casey guides you through tons of different yoga flows to help support you in those early days and weeks and months and years, because postpartum is forever. You can check out our postpartum program on our website. And then if you're looking for more of the fitness aspect with like strength training and more of the weights and bands, you can also check out our postpartum return to fitness programs. We have several different programs depending on your current fitness goals. We have our general fitness, we have a C-section specific, in addition to like running and Olympic weightlifting. So whatever sport you're trying to get back to postpartum, we're here to support you. You can also bundle our yoga and postpartum fitness together to save even more and use code YouTube10 to get 10% off both programs.